Howdy, y'all. It is Cody from the Keepers of Nerddom, and I'm once again joined by my friend Will.
Hello.
And episode 3 happened.
It sure did.
First impressions, Will, what's your thoughts?
Well, I can't really put it into words, but I can just... It was a lot.
Yeah.
Even more than last time, even though it was definitely less information dump, more world building.
Yeah.
But it was still just such big bombs dropped that it's hard to wrap your head around.
Right. And obviously spoilers. Yeah.
Spoilers for sure.
Wow. So out of 10, what would you rate this episode?
Honestly, I think I'm going to give it like a solid 8.5.
Okay. It might be a high 7 still for me, kind of same as last week, not because it was bad. But
it definitely wasn't bad.
It's the world building for me that it's good. It was slow, not as slow as last time.
Yeah.
But there's so much going on in a good way.
Yeah, really good way.
Better in a way than, that's why I'd say high 7, almost towards that 8 than last time. But it's still just a lot of information. So I guess the best thing to do is just talk about each little piece. Yeah, like focus. So Alan the Aliens is a big first thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Boy, Alan is back finally. And
we have a voiceover.
A voiceover?
During the whole Alan the Alien stuff.
Oh, the narrator, right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alan warns the coalition leaders. Optimus Prime is the main person. Like, same voice as Optimus Prime, and it doesn't work. Did he grow on you later?
I did kind of grow on me as it went on, because he is like the head of the coalition of planets. Like, that's a pretty big role,
right? And
I think that kind of fits, because I'm assuming this guy is probably really old. He's like a humanoid, but he's not human. I would say. I don't think he's like of Earth human, at least.
Okay,
something else.
We'll leave it at that,
right,
for now, because I think I know more than you do on that one, because I
probably
you probably do a little too far.
I like everything that I know about this franchise I get from the show. I haven't done any diving into the comics or anything like that, because I like to keep some some ambiguity about it. Like, I just want to have it be all fresh whenever I see it for the first time, and not be like, oh, well, I know everything that's going on right now.
Right.
Because, it's so good, like, to kind of know what's going on, but the shock factor is what you lose. Like, I played through the entirety of The Last of Us, and then I watched the show, and it was really cool to see the show and everything play out, but I already knew what was going to happen every time. So it was kind of like,
not as interesting.
I kind of wish I didn't play it, but then again, how was I supposed to know that HBO was going to make a show just a few years later?
Right. So okay, Alan reports back. And the main leader, the only thing that's hard with me is just Optimus Prime has been voiced by that same person for so long in the live action movies and all that. And was he the voice back in the cartoons and stuff? I don't know. Probably, but I'm not sure.
I don't know, actually.
Could be wrong. But it's just hard to separate him from that voice.
It is.
But anyway.
And Seth Rogen is Alan.
Yeah.
So I immediately just think of anything Seth Rogen has done whenever Alan speaks, because... I'm Seth Rogen.
Right.
So it's kind of funny to think of, for instance, Donkey Kong being an alien.
Yeah, that's true.
Like Donkey Kong from the Mario movie. I should have specified.
It's okay.
For context.
It's okay, so let's keep running through. Alan gets assigned to figure out how the Viltrumites attacked a planet that was just joined into the Union or Federation or whatever it is, by the main leader. So the main leader suspects that there's somebody on the council that's feeding info. Yeah. Alan goes home for an awkward date, and then we see it later. And he's about to tell his girlfriend what's going on.
Before we get into that, we also get backstory of how Alan's upbringing.
Yeah.
So, oh my gosh, now I'm trying to put all this back together. So,
no, you're good.
Pretty much, Alan's home planet was just like a perfect utopia. They had perfect synergy with nature and everything was just perfectly fine.
Yep.
And then the Viltrumites attack and take over their planet very suddenly and very violently. And a few of their species managed to escape the planet and fled to the coalition of planets. Yep. And they took them in under their wing and started a program to try to create a super being / weapon that could potentially stop a Viltrumite.
Yeah, so a super soldier that can fight on that equivalent.
Right.
And Alan is one of those.
Alan is the only one because they tried making lots of them, but Alan was the only success that ever happened. The rest of them failed.
But he's actually, ironically,
also a failure.
Not a success, at least at this point,
because
what we're seeing.
He is not strong enough to take on a Viltrumite.
Yeah. And so they discontinue the program, and he becomes just an ambassador person that checks out to see if planets have somebody capable of defending themselves even against possibly a Viltrumite. And then that's where they describe, and he's talking to council and shares that he met Mark, things are different. And the leader takes a very keen interest in that whole story.
Yeah.
Very interesting there. And so while he's on a date then with his girlfriend in a space station, at like a space station diner, 3 Viltrumites attack him right as he's telling her that there's some sort of spy. And they're asking, the 3 Viltrumites attack, and they ask him very specific questions that
extremely specific.
Yeah, that council would know. So the leader guy, Optimus Prime leader, is very much on the right track.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens to Alan?
He just gets jumped. Essentially, the Viltrumites beat him to a pulp. They basically do. I noticed that move a lot with them. They do the karate chop thing with their hand, and they just pretty much slice his arm off, punched his eye out of his eye socket, and
punched his guts out.
Yeah, and
literally,
pretty much just left him on the verge of death.
Yeah.
But somehow he did survive, and he's
on life support too.
Yeah, he's on life support, being rehabilitated. But
and his girlfriend's in there, and then the leader, Optimus Prime guy, goes in and says, I'll watch him, and then shuts off all the life support. As though
I didn't catch that part.
Yeah, as though he just killed Alan. What the heck is going on?
Even right after the leader guy said that Alan was their greatest asset.
Yeah,
which now seems really sus.
It makes you wonder why. What's going on here?
What is the motive for the head of the coalition of planets to totally just start betraying the council?
Right. So, we'll have to continue that story next time, because huge.
Yeah, this is getting way bigger than I ever imagined.
Because that was literally most of the beginning, because there was some focus on Mark. We'll get to him in a bit at the beginning parts. But Alan was the main focal point before it just ended and went to credits for a second, and then continued the whole extra second half of the episode, which was really weird.
I think it was a really weird choice of how they just put literally 3 seconds of credits right in the middle of the episode.
Right. Super bizarre. So our next story that I want to focus on is the Guardians. It's not a huge thing because they're working out in the room. And Rex comes in and has a conversation with Duplicate, and basically just demands, why are you dating Immortal instead of me? And super awkward and funny. And the reasoning is, what's her reason that she's dating Immortal?
To be honest, this got lost within the information dump.
Okay, I know. There was so much. And that's the thing. It's again, information.
Now I'm immediately forgetting things that I literally just saw in the episode. But what was her reasoning again?
So first it was, before she got real honest, that Immortal, Rex was he's lived for 2,000 years. And she goes, because of my duplicates, I probably am just as old as he is. Because she shares memories with them, which is kind of weird to think of it like that because that's not really how that would work. But anyway. But then she says the real reason is he is the only person that understands her because he has died as many times as she has.
Makes sense.
Because she has, it sounds like some sort of memory of her copies dying. That's weird.
Right, but then I never think that like she could be a copy herself. It always I always think that she's like the baseline duplicate, and then like everything sprouts from her. But I guess she's sprouted from other versions of her.
Yeah, because how do we really know if this is number 1 or 2 or 3? Just because the suit says it. But the other thing is this: we do know from the previous episode. I didn't think about this just now. She does apparently feel what her copies feel. So if one of them's in distress or joyful or sad,
I didn't think about that.
They share it all from that last episode. And that's all I'll say because it was a little awkward of a scene, but it's an important detail. It's like, so she does feel when her duplicates die.
That's rough.
Gross. So
yeah, wow.
Very interesting. And I wonder if she has her like multiple voices in her head constantly talking to each other. Like
my superpower is schizophrenia.
But it was interesting. And then we get Monster Girl is in the room, and as we're going to focus in on her and Robot for a bit here in a minute, shapeshifter guy, what's his name again? I forgot it again. Shapesmith comes in and just says the dumbest crap, and it's so funny. And Rex even just like
walks in.
What is wrong with you?
Walks into the gym and is like, I would like to run in a stationary position. Like, is this okay with you guys? And they're like, where are you from?
Yeah,
like,
Rex is just like, honestly,
what is up with you, man? And so he just runs to a treadmill, stands on it backwards, and then just starts doing the Running Man in place without even without it even being turned on. And they don't even really just address it. They just kind of give him the side eye and then just leave. So I really wonder whenever they're going to finally just be like, okay, something is very wrong here.
When even Rex is just like, you ain't right, man.
Right. Something's up with you, guy. I don't know what's up with you.
Okay. I can't even right now. So,
gosh.
Monster Girl goes into a robot. He's working with his brain, trying to calm himself down. And got a big diagram up here of his brain. And you can tell he's all flustered when she's in the room. And he finally asks her out on a little date. And it's kind of like, oh, how sweet, whatever. And they go out, and it's awkward. And yet then she starts realizing, you literally haven't lived life.
Right. Because, I mean, before his, like, I don't know what word it would be, but pretty much just his transformation from being in the tube thing.
Yeah. How much does she really know about that?
I don't think, like,
because they never saw each other.
Really. Yeah, no.
He would know because he saw her through the robot's eyes. Mm-hmm. But she never saw his
side of things,
original body. And, because this is technically a different person than that one, too. But, yeah, they have a little experience in Burger Mart, and they share some wonderful fun there. Just a little date and him realizing that, this food is actually really good.
You're right.
But it was neat. The other storyline, too, good grief, there's a lot.
Yeah.
Debbie, again, and you called it.
Yeah.
The black and red card was actually for what?
Superhero group therapy.
And specifically, superhero spouses.
Spouse, right.
So, and she goes, and the first session goes really well.
But I don't think Olga was there.
No, I don't think she was.
Which is a little odd.
That's a good point. Huh. But it was weird because in the previously on Invincible, they showed just a flashback of Green Ghost getting killed. And I thought that was really strange.
Yeah, I thought that was weird how they specifically showed that.
Yeah.
And I'm like...
And then we figure out
that's going to come up later.
It was just so conveniently thrown in there. It's like, wonder if that's going to have anything to do with anything. And yeah, there it is. So come to find out, her husband or his boyfriend, I can't remember.
I think her husband, yeah,
is in the group, and they go to a bar after the group just to talk, and he shares who he was actually married to, and they're not supposed to.
Yeah, no, they're not supposed to.
And so Debbie leaves the bar, and he goes outside to talk with her, and she's all just messed up because, Omni-Man murdered her. And she tells him. And it's...
Mistake.
Yeah, he gets ticked off.
Have done that.
I think it's either going to be that this just drops and we don't see any more of this group, or he's going to visit her and actually talk with her and go, I'm sorry. Or he's going to actually try to, I guess the third option is he tries to kill her.
Right. I was going to say the third option is he becomes a loose egg and just totally tries to go vengeance mode on her.
Loose egg.
Yeah.
I don't know where that came from. Loose egg. Now I just have to picture an egg just rolling around.
It's like, imagine you have a carton of eggs. And
look at that loose egg over there.
And out of your 12 eggs, there might be one that's just a little loose.
There's a little messed up.
There's going to be a few loose eggs in that basket.
That's a good. Yeah, it makes sense. It was just funny. I wasn't expecting loose egg. So I guess the last other story, right? Is there only one other one? Is Mark's?
Right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Are we good?
Yeah.
Because Mark's was all over the place too.
Yeah.
Because he's moving into college, and so Debbie's there for a bit. And we finally get some more of his friend William.
Mm-hmm.
And William and Mark had this weird conversation too about a guy from season 1 that William liked, Rick.
Yeah.
And he's going to get out of the hospital soon. And
in a month.
And we were talking about it even during the episode. Like, what kind of life does this guy have? Because he was literally lobotomized.
Yeah.
By the evil genius guy.
I didn't even think about describing it that way.
Yeah. What?
That's horrifying.
What is this guy going to have?
Oh, man.
I'm nervous about that. Just in general, like seeing that guy. Like, I'm afraid he's going to be messed up.
Loose egg.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. But then we also have a scene with Amber, and they get more cuddly.
Yeah.
Gross.
A lot more cuddly.
And once again, how is Amber acting?
Too giddy. Too accepting for her character.
Yeah, just all of a sudden, like...
Just this is... because we haven't even got to the...
Oh.
God, I can't remember their name either.
The bugs?
Yeah, the bugs.
Yeah. She's just so okay with even him going and disappearing for potentially a month. And like, you got to save lives.
This is what you do. This is part of the deal.
This is not...
Okay, you could have said that in the first season.
There was a conversation that has apparently happened that we didn't see.
And I wish we could have seen it.
Because that would help.
Right, it would help her redemption arc a lot.
Yeah, but she's completely different from season 1. Oh, you just go do, honey.
I mean, like, to be fair, like, season 2 is taking place, like, I think a little over a year after the events of season 1.
Well, they were finishing high school.
Right.
In this season still. In season 2. Yes, because he
graduated.
He goes back to school, and...
But who's to say that?
The bully guy goes, I'm sorry.
Oh, that's right, yeah.
I'm sorry your dad died.
But who's to say that they weren't like a junior in high school instead of a fresh?
I don't know. Senior. The only thing I would say is just that at the end of season 1, he goes finish high school, I guess, which seems to almost indicate like it's the senior year. I could be wrong.
Yeah,
I don't know. It doesn't feel like much time has happened other than summer. Like we had maybe 5 or 6 months total. Because graduation happened at the beginning of the season, and now they're going to college. So even just from then to then, we're talking about 3.5 months or so.
Yeah, that's
true. What I'm like. They're acting almost like there's been a ton of time, but the indications and the hints seem to be 5 or 6 months, maybe. And I don't know. I don't know, and it bothers me because we don't have a good timeline. We are missing this conversation that Amber and Mark had. Of why now all of a sudden she's just amazing, the bestest ever, and It's stupid. She's awful because this isn't her. This is not her from what we just saw. Anyway, so who shows up at the dorms?
Seance dog.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about that, too. And Mark's like freaked out because he's like, no, there's no way.
There's absolutely no. And it's like, I'm from an alternate dimension where dogs and magic are as real as the airs you breathe. And he's like, I call BS, and just totally throws him out of the dorm, like slams him into the ground.
And that should have been the first warning sign of all of this, that this bug is a liar and a half.
Right. So,
because the dog eventually changes into a bug.
And say I was told to choose that form in order to disarm you. Disarm, which is a really interesting choice of words.
Yeah. To try to connect. I'd have to rewatch that, exactly the phrasing he says for that.
He said disarm.
Disarm. But I'm saying like the full thought of like why he took that form, because you just said something interesting about
I'm pretty sure he was told to choose that form.
And if so, that's crazy.
That is crazy.
Because Mark should have paid attention.
Right.
Now, granted, I didn't catch it right then. So
I didn't catch it either.
But needless to say, he tells Mark that there's meteorites hitting his planet and he needs Invincible to help him. And somehow has heard about him. Well, the only person that... It's just funny. Like, Mark doesn't think through this through.
He said that, like, like the name of Invincible has spread through the cosmos like wildfire. Like,
and the only person...
He's getting really big. And I'm like, interesting.
The only person that would even spread that at all,
because not even the coalition of planets knows about Mark's existence yet.
Well, Alan,
until this episode.
Yeah, Alan shares that. And how close in time frame are we talking? Right? Are these happening exactly at the same time? You know what I'm saying?
Right. And
we don't know. That's why it's always hard with stuff like this, especially in different planets, galaxy kind of stuff.
Right.
It's just weird because there's just so many little hints that when you stop to think about it, like Mark, this is not a good sign. So he decides to go with her. Oh, him, the bug, it.
Yeah, I guess, I don't know.
And then gets there, and the bug, and Mark looks up and is like, "Where's the meteorites?"
Right. This planet is like a perfect utopia. Like everything's pristine. Fine.
And what does the bug say when Mark asks?
Is like, oh yes, the meteors. So pretty much he notes whenever he takes Mark to his planet that like it's taken most of his lifespan just to get to Mark. So they age incredibly fast, and so he was like, "Oh well, it must be a bit of dementia because we age so fast." But don't worry, the monarch will explain all.
Yeah, totally, just being a liar,
just totally lying through.
Mark's
his teeth.
Just like,
Yeah, Mark's like, okay.
Yeah, and so then we see the monarch, and at first it's like, oh, there's bugs, until the monarch actually walks up, and it's not the bugs.
No.
It's, hello, son. It's been a while.
Omni-Man.
It's Omni-Man himself. And J.K. Simmons is back. So that means next episode, we're going to have conversation. We're going to actually have reconnection between Invincible and Omni-Man. And it's going to be great. Because Omni-Man...
Well, let's hope it's great because...
I'm not saying necessarily like
remember
good.
The last time that they, had interactions.
I'm saying great in the sense of I love J.K. Simmons being in it, period. No. And just their interactions, because obviously he left Earth because his son said, as he's going, think, Mark, think. In 500 years, who will you have? What will you have? And he goes, I'll have you, Dad. And as he's bleeding on the ground. And then he flies away, right? And it's like, maybe we get the father-son moment. You even said it, like, let's play ball. So
yeah, let's play catch. Let's play catch kind of moment. Like, it's been a while. Let's catch up.
And I'm excited just to have this again.
I'm excited, but this feels like another plot.
Yeah. What?
Like when he came to Earth and everything's fine, I'm going to be a hero and I'm going to get married to this human and, have a family. And then he just totally abandons everything at the last second to fulfill his mission and kills thousands, probably upon thousands. And then almost kills his own son, and he's like, what's 18 more years? I'll just have another kid.
Ooh,
which is extremely sadistic.
Yeah. And it's the sad reality of he sees time in such a different way when you live so long.
Right. It's like everything that you know and love will crumble to dust before you're even my age.
And the other side note to this too is, what position does Omni-Man have on this planet?
He's the ruler.
He is the ruler, the monarch of their entire society is a Viltrumite. So he left Earth and became the ruler.
Took up another post. This planet's screwed. I'm just gonna set up shop somewhere else. It's like, this is a lost cause. I'm out.
Oh man. So this was good. But wow, it's a lot of stuff going on and a lot of setting up. And we did get to see Cecil for a second try to tell Mark, don't go. But I wish they would have talked a little further, because Cecil would be like, walk me through this again?
Right.
This, and this do not add up.
Cecil just wants to keep him on Earth, because I think that whenever he's on Earth, they can monitor him and keep him, keep tabs on him.
He's wanting to see, too, if he's going to be like his dad. Or if he's going to actually be willing to follow orders.
And he actually referenced that in the episode.
Yeah.
Mark is like, I need to listen to myself before I listen to you. And Cecil's like, well, your dad said the same thing.
Right. It was interesting.
That's pretty rough.
He's in it just for a second, but what a second.
Yeah.
This episode was fascinating, man. We're setting up so much that I love, but I feel like at times they're trying to go a little too fast.
Yeah, that's what I noted to Cody earlier. I said they're definitely trying to put comic book pacing in TV shows pacing, and it's a little too fast to handle sometimes.
Like, how many issues did we just watch right there in that episode? I feel like we may have read
almost double digits.
You think so?
Almost double digits. I mean, if you're even talking about this season in general, we're definitely into double digits of new things that we're going to have to resolve.
Right.
Which is a lot, especially for 3 episodes and then a 4th next week and then a brief hiatus until the next 4.
It's going to be so hard. Man, it's going to be hard, dude.
It's going to suck.
I am not looking forward to that break, but man, this show. When a show like this can just tell us epic story like this, we still go, I'm just wanting to know what's next.
Right.
I wish they would just have put it all out at the same time, because I would have binged it. We would have been watching 24 hours straight and videos, and I wouldn't have cared. But
are we going to include the Fortnite stuff on this?
No, we'll do a separate video to talk about the Fortnite. I kind of had
an idea to
collab
bridge the gap. Yeah.
With Invincible, but we'll talk about that in another episode, because I think there's a little bit more conversation that needs to happen with that, and this has been going for a little while. But what did you all think about episode 3 of season 2 of Invincible? Man, very interesting. I would say better than the last episode.
Yeah, for sure.
I love when Viltrumites do Viltrumite things and violent everything.
Yeah, because they're so over the top and just hardened. It's crazy. Like, they don't have any mannerisms that humans have. Like, you either tell us what we want to know or you die.
Yeah, they don't play around. And those mustaches.
Glorious mustaches.
Glorious. Maybe that's what we need next time. We need to get some mustaches. Let us be Viltrumites together.
Viltrumites. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, when I'm down, when I have a chance, maybe I'll try to find some. Maybe the Dollar Tree. Maybe they got some randomly in the toy section.
Oh boy!
All right, like, share, and subscribe. Let us know in the comments below. What did you think about this episode of Invincible? Wow, what a journey we were on!
Yeah.
This stuff is it's got some heavy storytelling going on.
I'm still having
Holy
like
cow.
shock factor set in for like Omni-Man and what he's doing on this planet.
It's gonna get crazy. Thank you for joining us. Wow, and again, thank you, Will.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh man, next week we'll definitely have to talk again because this is so good. Like, share, and subscribe, y'all, and thank you for joining us.
Stay tuned.
It's going to get epic, I think.
Oh yeah.
Bye.